palm reading of a particular person whose age is 43 years old and 4 months and 24 days. His main question was regarding kids and wife, achievements in life, and any other future achievements. Any problems ahead, golden period of his life from now onwards, how the life forward is going to be about parent, sister, and many other things. So we'll start with telling whatever we see on this particular palm. This is the palm of this particular person, and I've just tried to mention the age on the money line first, and I'll just draw the timings on the money and the sun line. The first, this is the money line, this is the headline, this is the heart line. So somewhere in the middle is age 44. So this is where the person is traveling. Same goes with, this is the headline, this is the heart line, and this is the sun line. So somewhere in the middle is age 44 on the sun line. This is the sun line. So the first thing that you would notice that towards the end, above the heart line, this age is after the age of 53. So you would notice that the sun line is becoming much better after the age of 53. You would notice that there is a line somewhere out here. I'm just going to zoom in. Sorry, we are not able to zoom, but you would notice that there's a line out here and there's a line out here. So, but these lines are a little bit weaker compared to the other lines. The line above the heart line. This is what is much better out here, much more deeper and clearer. So much more deeper and clearer sun lines are always considered to be better than weak kind of lines. This is another hand image we have of this particular person, the right hand, and in this hand we can see it much more clearly. This is a sun line in the initial part, and it vanishes away somewhere in the middle at the age of 43, 44 approximately. Then it again starts, but it starts in a very weak way. We are unable to find lots of clarity in it. So when the line is comparatively weak, it signifies that there might be doubt and self-doubt. There are two things. But at the same time, we have to look at the overall hand to come to the conclusion instead of just looking at the sun line. Some people call the sun line to be the luck, name and fame line. I agree with it, but I do not agree with this kind of a perception that is being created by other palmists that this is just the luck line. It is more than that. Sun is basically light. In actual, if you see the sun, it is basically light, and if it is basically strong line that we see, a line that we can see very clearly, it means that the sun is shining bright and is energizing the earth. It basically signifies that the person is likely to energize his work. So when we find that the sun line is much more deeper and clearer, it signifies that the chances are that the person is going to energize his work, and that's the reason why his work is going to become better. It's not going to become better just because you have this particular line or a weak kind of a line. Weak lines have got less significance than strong lines. You notice also there's a V-like formation forming out here. V sign pointing towards a finger is always considered to be good, and out here it is also considered to be good because it is pointing toward two fingers, the finger of Mercury and the finger of Sun. So finger of Mercury basically is the area for communication, technical skills, business skills, all kind of skills come from this particular area of the mount of Mercury. So having a V-like formation is always considered to be good because it gives a quality of two planets and not just one. Now we have to take a look at the other good aspect of this particular palm, and this particular aspect covers not for one particular year, but it covers for throughout the life. And this is the lines that you see under the finger of Mercury. Finger of Mercury, Mercury represents calculations, technical skills, business skills, all kind of skills. How good we are able to communicate our ideas in front of other people, and how good we are able to how good we are in our skill, in our writing skills, in our technical skills, or any kind of skills. So languages, good aptitude for languages and good aptitude for mathematics, science, statistics, economics, biology, chemistry, computer networking, human to human networking, writing skills, all these things basically come from this particular area. And if a person has got a deep, clear, singular kind of lines, those are considered to be good. These lines are extremely deep and clear. So clarity in these lines means that the person is sharpening their skill, and the person doesn't sharpen the skills or in just one day. Just one day the person cannot sharpen. So you have to sharpen your skills on a daily basis. So this person is sharpening the skills on the daily basis. This is the reason why he is likely to be more successful, and it covers throughout the life. When the person was 1 year old, when the person was 5 years old, when the person is 15, when the person is 25, when the person is 45, 60, or whatever age the person might be, the person is constantly sharpening their skills. So there was some issues, like he's a little bit worried in his questions. When are there any problems ahead? How can there be any problems when the person is sharpening their skills? So the person who is sharpening their skills is always going to be in demand, and a person who is in demand is also likely to make good amount of money. Although Mercury is just for calculation, it is not for money. So money, people get more money from if the heart line, see, generally what the impression is, people think that this is the money line, this is going to be telling about the monies. This is what they always want to concentrate on. They think that money line would tell everything about the money, but money line cannot tell everything about the money. The importance of money line in terms of money is just 15% or even lower. Don't think that money line can tell everything regarding the money. It is a combination of each and every line on your palm that can signify success or failure. So it's not the money line, it's the technical skill line, it is the sun line and other aspects of the palm that would basically give success or failure in a person's life. See, he also wants to know regarding his parents and sister and brother and all these people. See, people who are bad communicators, they are going to create distance between their near and dear ones, or maybe parents or brother, sister, and all these kind of people, their relatives. But in this case, the person is not having will not have this issue. Even if the person has this issue of some relationship issues, the person is likely to solve those issues and basically move ahead. Now the other important line is the heart line. This is a very, very important line. I value this particular line to be more important in terms of money, the line of heart, even more than the line of money. So even more than that, the line of heart should be good. The heart line is kind of ending under the mount of Saturn. Saturn is the planet for money, possession and wealth and responsibility and being grounded, knowing the ground situations very well. So all these qualities come to this particular person because the heart line is angling towards the mount of Saturn. So generally people who are in business or people who are in service, and those people, they basically kind of angle towards money. That is the reason why they would get more money. Let's assume that the person is in service. So don't think that the people in service, their hands are bad, and the people who are businessmen, their hands are always going to be good. It's not like that. It's nearly, the hands are nearly the same, but at the same time, both of these people should value money. So valuing money basically comes if the heart line is ending under the mount of Saturn. Those people value money. So people who value money is likely to make more money in their life. So this is one aspect. Now we come to another aspect regarding the balance. Balance in nature. The balance in nature comes from the heart line and the headline. If both these lines are balanced, it means that the person is predictable by nature. And a person who is predictable by nature, is likely to, more people are going to basically get attracted to such a person. So this is another aspect. Now we come to another aspect, that is regarding the money line. Now in this case, what we find is that the money line in the initial start, there appears to be an island-like formation. Some people are going to say that this is a fish or something like this. I don't talk about fishes in my palmistry reading, but still other people basically talk about it. I say that a line something like this is more than enough to be more successful. The heart line ending out here is good enough to be successful. You don't need to have a fish like formation. See, for fishes, there are other palmists who basically read about this and they say that anywhere you find a fish, you are going to be successful. I don't say those kind of things in my reading, but still, there is a fish and there is an island-like formation. So island is not generally considered to be good. In my readings, I don't consider it to be good. But this portion of the line of fate, the line of money, is before the age of 35, and not even just before the age of 35, in the starting period of one's finances, when the person is starting to earn. And an island-like formation basically brings about trouble wherever we find an island. Island can be on your heart line, your headline, your money line, your lifeline, or any other. If we find the island on the money line, as we find in this particular case, so finances related issues could crop up in the initial part of the person's life. But this particular line basically continues, and it continues till the end, and it reaches the Mount of Saturn. There's a wave-like formation out here. So wave-like formation is not generally the best, but still, because the line of money is reasonably strong, so we can't basically say that the money line is bad. Just before the age of 35, this is the headline, this is the money lines. So just before the age of 35, this is when two money lines basically starts parallel. So somewhere at this particular age, the person is likely to have a dual income, and this dual income might start somewhere from the age of 31, 32. That's the approximate, I would say. And it continues. So there are two lines. So two lines, whenever we find two lines on the palm, two fate lines, it is considered to be a good sign. It is something like this is a building. Just consider this is a building with pillars and beams. This is beams and pillars. So if you have got two money line, it means you add another pillar or another beam out here. So basically, the strength of the building basically strengthens. So many people, when I've talked to them and we find that there are two lines, they say that probably they don't have a dual income, but probably their wife is working or somebody else is working, or they have a dual income, but still it would just mean a double line means double strength. So it is just that. It doesn't mean more money, but it kind of balances the person's life, and it kind of strengthens the person's finances to some extent if there are any troubles. Now we take a look at, this is the lifeline, and there's a trouble line that is coming and touching the headline. This is the headline, and the intersection of the money and the headline, this is 35. So after the age of 35, our trouble line is coming and touching the headline. So this is a little bit negative. So somewhere where the person is, probably this is when few problems might be cropping up. Another might have cropped up somewhere at the age of 35. This line, this is the lifeline, and this is the area of Mars negative. This is just the name. And the line, if it originates and horizontally runs and touches the headline or the money line or any other line, basically those kind of troubles can be expected. So mental troubles can be expected during this particular age, but still, because the hand is strong, reasonably strong, so I would say that the person would be able to handle those issues and move ahead in his life. The last aspect out here is this is the headline. There's an upward line towards the Mount of Jupiter. Lines running towards the Mount of Jupiter are considered to be good because they take a person to a high position of honor, respect, all these kind of things. This is also the line for ambition. It's a good line basically, and basically this is the headline and the line, another branch originates on the Mount of Jupiter and joins into the headline, it means your head is getting guided by Jupiter. Head getting guided by Jupiter means you are basically seeking higher position of honor. So this is a positive. If this is the lifeline and the upward line is originating from the lifeline, that means your life is getting guided by Jupiter. Again, a good sign. Jupiter is a big planet. Big planet means growth and expansion in your life. So upward lines are considered to be good. There shouldn't be too many crisscrossing lines over any particular mount of your planet. That basically destroys that particular area. In this case, we don't find any excessive kind of lines that I just talked about, and just take a brief look at the other hand images that I received from this particular person, and and they are quite similar. So there's not much to say, and these are very similar kind of basically images that I have received from this particular person, and the better the hand images that you send, the better it is considered to be. You will notice that this is the headline. There are two upward lines and a small kind of a downward line. This is the line that we are referring to from the headline. So upward is good, but the downward is a little bit bad. It means mental disappointment, but this too is happening before the age of 35. And upward lines are basically seeking honor, getting more honor, all these kind of things. In the left hand, what we find is this is the money line. This is ending on the heart line. This age is 53, so somewhere at the close to the age of 53, few changes can be expected, and a new money line basically develops. So changes somewhere at the age of 53, and this money line is more angling towards the amount of Saturn. So this is a positive sign regarding money. There are few problem lines that come and touch the lifeline, but these are not very significant. So because if it touches the lifeline, so problems related to health can be expected, but nothing too great negative line that we see out here. And we just move to this particular last image that we have, and I've already talked many things regarding these images. And upward lines is also seen on the amount of Mercury, even on the left hand. Similar as the sun line is much better beyond the age of 53. So similar kind of lines. There's nothing much else to say about this particular hand. And the questions were golden period of the life. I can say with certainty after the age of 53 that's going to be the best, but I won't say that this particular time is a bad time for this particular person. Even this time can be good, because the Mercury line is good, and a person who has got a good Mercury is always going to be able to communicate, calculate in an effective way. So people who have got skills make good amount of money in their life in the present days. Any problems ahead I have already mentioned. At the age of 53 on the left hand, the money line is breaking, but there are going to be few changes, but because the line beyond that becomes better, so I won't say that the person need to be troubled too much. Things are going to be good. About parents, I would say that somewhere at the age of 53 you can expect any problems as such regarding their health also. Otherwise everything is fine. And brothers, sisters, not much can be said about them, but just common sense we apply to some extent. If your headline is reasonably okay, like it's not breaking or something. So see, sometimes we face few problems from our siblings, sister, brother, or some those, but those are only when there are extreme cases, when if the headline breaks beyond the age of 35. So somewhere after the age of 35 few problems can crop up, but nothing too much. I can say everything is going to be in limitation, and the person will be able to solve those issues that are there in his life and move ahead. And with his good communication, he would be able to convince the other person also. It could be your parents, or it could be brother, sister, or even people outside. The person could give a very good consultancy to different kind of people because of the good Mercury line. So people who have a good Mercury line, their paperwork is excellent. People who keep their paperwork excellent, the chances are they won't have any trouble from any particular person. See, problems can come and go, but we see if there is a possibility, and I don't find those so much negative possibility as such, That's it for this particular reading. I hope you like this particular video. If you like this video, click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel. And last thing is that you don't need to go to a palmist or an astrologer to show your palm, because you already know your future. Present is the result of past. How will be your future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep positive thoughts and keep good company. That's what matters the most. And the last thing is that company matters the most. If you have bad company, the chances of making wrong decisions increase because you are in the wrong company. If you are in the right company, the chances of making wrong decisions decrease. And that's all for now. Bye and take care.